Welcome, everybody, to the Old Gold Show. With you, as always, I'm your host, co-manager over at hammerandrails.com, Andrew Ledman.
And I'm Casey. Rivalry week used to mean something Bartley.
So,
Boiler upload, Rivals Network.
that was really sad.
Yeah,
I felt
yeah,
that, like, deep
yeah,
in my heart. I could feel you were really struggling there.
yeah.
Honestly, I think you were struggling because you couldn't figure out what you wanted to say.
No, I write these out way ahead of time.
I don't believe that for one
Beginning of the season.
second. Oh,
Beginning of the
yeah, okay.
season, I sit down, look at every game, and figure out
True.
who I'm going to be that day.
Yeah. So we're back with you. We're going to talk two games for Purdue. First, we're going to talk about that absolute beating that Purdue gave to Michigan last week. Then we're going to take our break, look ahead to the game coming up on Friday, 8 p.m. tip off on Fox against the Indiana Hoosiers, as Casey said, part of rivalry week. But first, Casey, my goodness, did Purdue look good when they took on Michigan 91-64, the final in that one. Purdue beat Michigan so badly they knocked them out of the top 25.
They beat them so badly that despite Purdue losing one of two games this week,
Right.
they moved up from 11th to 10th in the AP Bowl. In
Yeah.
KenPom, they are all the way up to number 7 in the country. Purdue now has two players inside of the top 6 players of the year for KenPom, Braden Smith and Trey Kaufman-Wren.
I would assume.
And they are, advanced metric wise, looking like a national title contender.
Yeah, I saw somebody put out that tweet that you see every year about this time. Which of the teams currently playing college basketball meet the requirements of every one of the last, 12 or 15 national champions? And I believe this year it was just Auburn and Purdue.
Which we saw that game.
Yeah, it did not go well for the Boilermakers.
Went, yeah, but also UConn Purdue didn't go great for the Boilers, but it was in the national title game. So,
Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, I'd take that again for sure. Also, I think Purdue is a better team now than they were when they played Auburn.
oh,
So,
okay.
you thought I was going to say than last year. No, no, I'm not. I'm
I
not
was going to
foolish. I saw
respect
your
it.
face.
I was going to like it, but
Yeah. No,
I
I
was,
don't agree. But yeah, so I mean, it was a great game for Purdue. You could tell guys like Braden Smith came out and really wanted to prove that Ohio State game was kind of an anomaly. Um, Maybe it was just tired legs. Maybe it was all that travel kind of catching up to them. But they wanted to make sure that this Michigan game was a statement. And oh boy, did it look like it. Casey, you were there in Mackey. You got to listen to the guys, talk to them since. Was there any mention or discussion of the fact that they were kind of tired, exhausted as a result of that Ohio State game or going into that one, or is it just kind of no excuses, we lost, we're moving on?
I mean, a little bit of both. They were pretty honest going into it that it's a lot of travel. They played like 6 games in like 19 days or something. They hadn't had a day off in like a month.
Yeah,
And you mix that with a West Coast trip with the start of semester. I know, like, it's a joke, like, ha ha ha, ha, they're basketball players. They are college students. They are taking classes. They are doing exams. They have homework, like, and they're doing it while adjusting to life, taking on, all these games and prep and practice. Like, it's a real thing.
yeah,
Um, it was 50-50 on, like, was it more exhausting to go out west or come back? I think anyone that's traveled for work, like, if you leave for a while and come back, you're not sharp the next day.
no.
You got some fuzzies going on. So I
Mhm.
definitely think there was a little bit of that. But I think Ohio State, like, shot the ball really well, came up with plays late. Purdue definitely didn't have their best half. Uh,
Oh, yeah, that's for sure.
and I definitely think legs are a part of it.
Yeah.
They got a couple days off before Michigan. I will say, I like a team that responds like that, Ledman.
Oh, yeah,
I
for
think I
sure.
said this last year. I like when Braden Smith's got a little FU to him.
Oh,
Yeah, a
he had a
little,
lot of it in that Michigan game.
and the team in general did. And like, if I look for things that like you can't measure, that like kind of get you through NCAA tournament moments and stuff like that, having that as an identity for a team That's good stuff. You
Yeah.
want that. And
Yeah.
we had questions like Purdue's been awesome on defense for like a month, but they hadn't taken on like great offenses.
Hmm.
That Michigan offense has given a lot of teams problems, and
Yeah.
they did not give Purdue problems.
Oh,
Purdue
no,
gave
not at
them
all.
problems.
Not at all. Yeah. Just to highlight how well Braden Smith played, 24 points, 10 assists, 7 rebounds, flirting with a triple double there. And just everyone from Purdue played well. Lawyer did what I've wanted him to do all season, shot 10 threes, made 5 of them. So that's what I want to see out of him. I want him to be more aggressive because, as I've said on here, when he takes a contested shot or difficult shot, it's often a better shot than Purdue gets elsewhere because he is a very good shooter. And he needs to be a little more selfish, especially from beyond the arc. So I was happy to see him take 10 threes in that one and make 5 of them, as I said. Um, you know, not a lot to complain about in this one. TKR had 15. CJ Cox had a great game, 11 points. Braden Smith, as I said, 24. Fletcher Lawyer, 18. That's Caleb First had 6. Really good effort from everybody in the starting 5. And the game couldn't have started out better. I mean, steal from Braden Smith into a layup, and then CJ Cox with a steal and tie up to get Purdue the ball again. So just first 2 possessions there, 2 turnovers by Michigan. And in fact, Purdue forced Michigan into 8 turnovers in the first 6 minutes of that game. They set the tone early, and after that, you pretty much knew the game was over. No one was beating Purdue that day.
Yeah, like it's weird, right? How many just like breakaway layups Purdue has now all of a sudden.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that wasn't a thing last year. Wasn't a thing the
No,
year before
no,
that.
yeah, it wasn't. Well, it wasn't a thing a month, month and a half
Yeah,
ago either.
yeah, fair. Um, yeah, I just a really good win. I think there was definitely a we're not going to lose twice in Mackey Arena back to back.
Hmm.
Hadn't happened in 5 years. I don't think Braden and Fletcher wanted that on their resume.
No,
Can't have it.
no, yeah,
Can't have it.
no.
Mm-mm.
Any final thoughts on this Michigan team? Because they did present a unique challenge with their strange lineup, couple 7-footers. Is there anything we can learn about the Purdue offense or Purdue defense from this game that you think carries forward?
How about Trey Kaufman's quiet trash talk?
Maybe I
When
missed
when
it.
asked when asked about the two big men offense after the game, he was like, I don't really know why other teams struggled with it. We just switched it.
Yeah, that's. I
He's a
mean, that's
philosopher.
good.
He's just asking questions.
He is Jet. Just yes, just asking questions,
Just questions.
as all the greats do. You could basically hear my eye roll there. So, uh, we'll end it there on this Michigan game. Let's take our break. Come back. Look ahead to rivalry week game against the IU Hoosiers coming up this Friday in Mackey Arena. And we are back. So Purdue staying at home to take on the Indiana Hoosiers, first of 2 games against the Hoosiers this season. Casey, IU is not in shambles. That's maybe too strong of a term, but 14-7, five
Resembling
and five.
shambles.
Yes, it's starting to turn into shambles. Lost 4 of their last 5 going into this one against Purdue, and when you look at their schedule, don't really have a signature win. They played one ranked team in the non-conference season, and they lost. Overall, very, very cupcakey schedule. Give you a cavity just
You
looking at
love
their
cupcakes.
schedule. I do love cupcakes and cookies. Anything with
Sweet.
frosting or chocolate chips or anything like it's fine. I'll eat it. Um, but IU not a tough non-conference schedule, and they lost their big games in the non-conference, which was to Gonzaga and then to Louisville. Now, as I said, 4 of their last 5 they've lost. That was at Iowa versus Illinois, where they got their doors blown off, lost by 25. They also lost by 25 at Iowa. So back-to-back 25-point losses for the Hoosiers. Beat Ohio State by 1 in overtime in a game they did everything they could to lose. And then lost at Northwestern, and then just absolutely blew a game at home against Maryland. So maybe shambles is the right word, but the things are not going how they want them to in Bloomington. They've been chanting to fire their coach. They've been booing their own team at home. They got players going out at midnight the night before a game. Things are not right in Bloomington, but that works out great for me and my personal fandom. So I'm all for it.
You say all that, and you didn't mention you needed a transfer senior leadership to get your coach in the handshake line after the game.
Oh yeah, that was not good, especially because IU fans have always been so focused on doing things the right way and we shake hands by God, and they criticize people who did too fast of a handshake, and then Woodson just leaving the floor after the game against Maryland, and was it Goody who had to kind of stop him and be like, "Hey, yeah, we go this way to the
Yeah,
handshake line."
I mean, more concerning. I'm not sure if it was a like screw those guys thing. It just seemed like a kind of confuddled, a little uncertain. Because his
Just a
expression was like, "Oh yeah, we do that, don't we?"
Oh, right. Yeah. It's not
That's
like I've
how.
been not
Yeah,
like I've been doing this after every game for a couple years.
I'm only 95 years old. I don't know
Yeah.
when do you
But
guys sneak that in?
so I guess my question for you, what the hell is going wrong in IU right now?
Mike Woodson.
Oh, is that it? Is it as simple as that?
I mean, every choice. It's 4 years in, so like every choice is on him. It's not a great roster construction. Its best five can't really play together and get the most
Right.
out of it.
That's my biggest problem with them.
Yeah, which is it's kind of funny because like Michigan has thrived with two bigs, and that's been like a thing other teams have struggled with. IU's going to play two bigs. Thrive is not the right word that they've done with
No, oh
them,
no, absolutely not.
but they have them. They're going to play them. A little bit different bigs offensively for sure. Umar Ballo is like an actual banger. Um, Purdue saw him last year when he was playing for Arizona
Hmm.
before he took a cold, crisp millie to come to Bloomington. Would you live in
Uh,
Bloomington for $1 million?
Probably yes.
It's a
I mean,
nice
I
city.
could I could
It's
swallow
not
my
a bad
pride and
town.
say no,
Yeah,
but like it's $1 million.
nice town. Nice town. It's fine.
Yeah.
Uh, so Purdue's like already in the headspace of taking on two bigs. I think Braden Smith is going to have a lot of fun choosing which center to absolutely destroy in the pick and roll.
Yeah, they're not good defensively
No,
at the
they're
center
not.
position. But
It's
you, before we get into what Braden Smith's going to do with them, what are they going to do to Purdue on defense? How are we going to stop a guy like Ballo, who is big? He's 7 foot. He's a bigger guy. He's like 260, 270. What do you think Purdue throws at him defensively?
double teams constantly as soon as he touches the ball.
I mean,
It's what
first and
Purdue
Kaufman
wants.
ran, I assume.
Yeah, you put TKR on him because you want, first he can move around with Renew. Renew's, the more agile big.
Right. Yeah,
You
he'll play
put
more on the
TKR down there, they're
perimeter.
going to double. And honestly, it's that doubling and covering passing lanes, which is part of why Purdue has forced so many turnovers lately. They've just been really connected and really good on that defensive end. And you're inviting a team that doesn't really have a natural playmaker, doesn't protect the ball super well, doesn't shoot the ball well. So you're not,
Yeah, especially from three.
yeah, so you're not going to be super crazy. Like you're not overly concerned about them shooting from three, which makes closing off lanes and the basket even more of a priority.
Hmm.
And like what we've seen from Purdue for this month since 2025 is that Purdue's elite at that. At some point, we just have to believe it. Like
Yeah.
eight
Yeah.
game stretch is like almost half the season at this point, and they've just done it consistently. They did it to a really good Michigan offense, and now they're going to play a not very good offense. And there's no reason to believe that this team, after finally getting some rest, a week off, is not also going to be ready in Mackey Arena. I don't think there's a world that IU wins this game.
Well, I mean,
I
listen, I think there is a world. I don't think we're living in that
Is that
world.
world, yeah, it's like Thanos in that world.
I,
Like
I think,
half Purdue roster is gone.
yes, just at one
Maybe half of
snap.
IU's roster, which might help too.
Yeah, I was gonna say it might be good for them.
Maybe.
Um, it's to your point that I think is a good one, and most Purdue fans need to accept. is Purdue has been playing this way for almost half the season now. And I can't remember a Purdue team in recent memory where the perception of them has just changed in the middle of the season like this. I feel like when we study Purdue as they're going into the season and we watch them in the beginning of the year, we kind of get a feel pretty quickly for who they are and what they're going to be. But this team has changed so dramatically over the last, as you said, 8 games that Purdue fans, I don't think know which team is the Purdue team that we're going to see for the rest of the year. But I think to your point, we have to assume that it is the one we're seeing now because this is Big Ten season. This is the grind. This is where you become who you are. And 8 games in a row playing really good basketball with a little hiccup in that second half against Ohio State really shows you that they've improved. Their identity is different than they were to start the season. And I think that changes what we can expect from them going forward. And it's not something, as I said, that we've seen a lot at Purdue of late.
Yeah. Uh, like the advanced metrics tell that story.
Yeah.
Purdue I think they got up into the 30s in KenPom, and they are now down to 7. Their defense was 75th, and now it's 22, 23 in the country. And when you watch what's happening, it's beginning of the year, summer, everything. Purdue, like Matt Painter was just like, our defense needs to talk. There's no communication.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're just not a good defensive team. Now they are. Uh, I was struggling to find optimism through the first month of the season because it looked like a team that just didn't have it, didn't have the grind, didn't have the grit. And Caleb First coming into the starting lineup, the freshmen getting better. I think CJ Cox and Jakari Harris have been really, really good the last few weeks.
Yeah.
And
CJ Cox has just improved vastly. And Harris, as well, it's hard to say which one has done a better job improving because they've complemented the other players on the floor so much.
yeah, exactly. They feel like it is very clear that in a Braden Smith Fletcher Lawyer backcourt, it is better to have speed and another ball handler next to him.
Yeah.
As good as Miles Colvin and Camden Honey could be, they are not the optimal mix with those two. Just the way CJ Cox moves off the ball, the way Harris defends, and how quick he is with the ball and getting to the hoop, it just opens things up for Braden and Fletch. And I think Purdue now knows, like Painter said it after the game, like, I know my rotation now. I know where to go. This team knows it's right. And at the start of the year, once again, Daniel Jacobson was supposed to be a part of this team.
Yeah.
Half the defense was designed to have a shot blocker on the floor.
Right.
They
Right.
had to
That
alter,
funnel that Painter
yeah.
loves.
And like credit to him, they were already thinking like, how much can we actually count on him? We're going to have to figure out a defense without a shot blocker. Good. But like you still counted on that. And like that was like he was starting for a reason when the season started. They were going to have a lot of drop, blah, blah, blah. And so like it took a month of on-job training and figuring out and like squaring up rotations and getting guys in there and getting them a little more comfortable. And now Purdue is playing in a way that's like they've not got to the 3-point line in the last month a whole bunch. Teams are taking that away. They've had some really good offensive performances. They're a very good offense, top 10 offense. But like the defense is consistent in a way that I'm not sure it was last year. Like last year, it was just they grabbed every rebound, and Zach Edey was like, there was no paint; it didn't exist.
Yeah.
So they didn't have to be good.
Right. So, we've talked about the improvement of Purdue and the problems with IU. What do you think stands out either offensively or defensively for this IU team that could be problematic for Purdue? Long pause, long pause. There's got to be
I'm
something.
not a
Come
miracle
on.
worker here, Ledman. I'm not gonna lie to the people. I'm gonna lie to the people.
No, I
Say,
don't
oh,
want you to lie.
Luke Goody, terrifying.
He's a pretty goody shooter. No?
Oh,
You just gonna
okay.
close the laptop?
Oh yeah, you're
Well,
just
that was it. That was it. No,
Uh,
I mean, go ahead. Come on. There's got to
it's
be, we
not
got
a
to be
good
something.
offensive team. It's not. Um, I I had worries that started the year that Balo could bang and like Mbako's a really big wing and like their size in theory matches up pretty well to Purdue. Like they're big. If Mbako goes crazy, or First and TKR keep getting in foul trouble, that's definitely something they've done recently.
Yeah.
So like, can Balo draw fouls inside? Absolutely. Can Renew draw fouls driving to the hoop? Absolutely. Is Mbako a problem for? I want to say Purdue put Fletcher Lawyer on Mbako last year.
I'd have to go back and look.
I,
I can't remember.
yeah, I want to say like that happens. So
But I
like,
mean,
there's definitely
M'Bako hasn't really, he's not really improved as I think IU thought he would,
yeah,
going from his
he's
his
weird.
first year.
Yeah, he's a weird player. Capable of lighting it up, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mid-range merchant. This entire team just takes long twos. It's really weird. They love him, like
Yeah.
addicted to it. They need some more of it. So like if you're talking to me about anything, yeah, it's going to be some size. Trey Galloway has randomly gotten crazy hot against Purdue, I
Yes, he
guess,
has.
but like he's also shooting up to 35% from three. So like
Yeah.
63% from free throw. A big improvement. So yeah, they've
Yeah,
got size that could be interesting.
there you go. There you go. But I mean, you're the point we've mentioned a couple times. They don't shoot the ball particularly well, especially from three. I think they're about 32% as a team. Um, and it's just they're not particularly good on offense. They're not a particularly good defensive team. Um, they're sitting at 500 in the Big Ten, and that's probably about where they're going to finish. Uh, this is a game Purdue should win if they want to make a statement that it's going to be us or it's going to be Michigan State winning this damn conference. This is a game they've got to win, and this is a game they've got to make a big statement in and slap around IU a little bit before they head into a tough game on the road against Wisconsin. Although Wisconsin, as we were recording, just lost um,
On the road to
to
Maryland.
Maryland. Yeah, so
Not a
you
bad
just
loss.
never know. Yeah. So any final thoughts about
Uh,
IU?
yeah. I guess if you're going to talk about why IU might like, they better win this game. Not only have they already lost four of their last five, I'm going to read off their next six games for you, Len.
Oh yeah, they're not good.
Are the children tucked away?
Yes.
No, because this is the horror film
Yeah,
of
Q
the
is
next
asleep.
six games.
He can't hear.
At Purdue,
Bad.
Mackey Arena, notably tough place to win.
Yeah.
At Wisconsin, host Michigan, at Michigan State, host UCLA, host Purdue.
Yeah, that's tough. They might go
They
one
will
and
do
five.
well if they go 2-4,
Yeah.
which is
Now,
not
as a Purdue fan who wants Purdue to win the conference, I may have to root for
oh,
IU to take down Michigan State on the road. I don't think that's going to happen.
it's going to be a rock fight.
Yeah, well, sure. Neither team can
Rock
shoot,
fight.
uh, but I need someone to beat Michigan State because at this point in Big Ten play, no one has, and with two Big Ten losses already, Purdue has to have someone beat them because Purdue only plays them once, and that is at Michigan State. So,
Yeah.
got to have someone beat them, even if it's IU.
I will say, I think the next time we talk, I think it'll be very, if it's not already clear to people, this is a two-team conference run. And
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
it
it's a
sure looks like
two-team
it.
race. And the problem is, because Michigan State hasn't slipped up at all, and Purdue has, if Purdue loses another game here in the next couple, it might be a one-team race. Like it just might.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Because like at some
Michigan
point,
State
Michigan State
is
is halfway through their schedule.
right. Michigan State is just now, though, they had a really easy first half of their Big Ten schedule. They're going into the tough part, but as you said, they took care of business on the easy part of their schedule. Purdue has two losses halfway through. Michigan State has none, although they are not halfway through as of yet. They don't have their 10 games done. But It should be an interesting conference race, and we obviously hope Purdue can pull it out and believe they've still got a chance. But Casey, last time we talked, I said we had to revisit this again closer to the time. This weekend in Indianapolis is the Royal
Ah!
Rumble. Did you decide to buy a ticket and go?
I haven't gotten a ticket yet. It's still on the table, but I think I'm going to a watch party.
It's
I don't
disappointing.
know.
I will be at a wedding, so I will not be able to go.
If you weren't at a wedding and were going, my chances of going would be much higher.
Sure, sure.
So it's really
Yeah,
your fault.
right. Right. Well, you can blame my friend Harita for getting married when the Royal Rumble is in Indianapolis, as I'm sure she knew when she booked wedding venues. Now we will see the return of John Cena to the Royal Rumble. Uh, I want your final prediction on who is going to win this Royal Rumble because I've got mine.
I've got mine, and it's tough this year. It's really tough
Yeah.
after being very easy last year.
Yeah.
I think everything is pointing towards a Sami Zayn victory.
What?
Hmm.
No way. I
Hmm.
would be shocked.
Hmm.
Explain
Hmm.
yourself.
I think the KO stuff is interesting. I think him being, healing Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes in back-to-back weeks is interesting. I think his story of either going up against Gunther or Cody Rhodes is very interesting. And then I think it leaves, I think honestly, you pro I don't, in my dream world, Kevin Owens takes the title off Cody Rhodes this weekend.
I think that would be fun. Yeah.
And then it would be Cody, and then it would be Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
Right.
So that's my dream scenario that I'm gonna fly on.
You're going to manifest it.
I'm gonna manifest.
Yeah. I
How about
mean,
you?
I think the obvious choice for me
Put the
is,
headband down. It's not
I
John
mean,
Cena.
I'm not choosing Cena. Cena's not going to win. Cena's not going to win. I think the obvious choice for me, and it pains me to say because I don't like this wrestler,
See him.
I think it's going to be CM Punk. I think they're just building him up to be such a monster the way he took down Drew 2 out of 3 matches. He took
Seth
down
Rollins.
Seth freaking Rollins in that Netflix debut episode. It just feels like they're building it to Punk versus Cody,
I get it.
which makes me think they want to have Cody beat Owens, and then I don't know what they're going to do with KO if he loses. But
I hear a lot of Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes buzz.
yeah, I have to think Randy's going to come back at the Rumble. I just don't know if it's going to be in the Rumble or if he's going to interfere in that ladder match.
Hmm. Maybe he RKO's both of them.
That's what I'm wondering. Like if it's going to be like, no, you both screwed me. I'm a heel now, or I'm a tweener, or whatever, and then we get a result that way. But I definitely think Orton's going to be involved in that somehow. So those are my predictions. Anything else you want to throw out for Royal Rumble before we head out?
I should really go.
You should.
Should. Should.
You should. You just gotta just wait until right before the show and get that ticket someone's trying to get rid of, or even
Right.
wait for like the first match to be underway, and then the price will drop, and then you can just
I don't
hustle
want to
your
miss the
seat.
Women's Royal Rumble. I guess it'll last for an hour.
Yeah, I would say it'll be an hour long. You'll miss like the first four people.
Well, yeah, why aren't we choosing the women? Like,
Because I can only name like 5 women who are going to be in it. They've only had like 5 women announce.
do better.
Okay, let's see. Nia Jax, she's not going to win. That's a boring one. Bianca, Naomi, maybe Naomi could win. I don't see Bianca winning. I think the obvious choice is probably Charlotte Flair because she's coming back
She
at
has
the
the highest
Rumble,
odds, I believe.
and they're immediately going to push her to the stratosphere. And I think having her go up against Tiffany would be fun.
It would be a
But
good match. Asuka
so
might be coming back. Will
oh,
Asuka
I
get
don't know.
back in the mix?
I don't know
I
if
don't
she's
know if she's
back
coming
or
back.
healthy or
I
not.
don't
But
either.
so
Liv Morgan to the moon.
yeah, I mean she's got a protector in
Let's
there
do it.
with
Just
Raquel
do it.
Rodriguez. So it's
Do it.
always good when you got like a tag team partner in there. You can throw some folks over the rope. So there you go. Those are our predictions for Purdue-IU, and more importantly for the
Also,
Royal Rumble, which is
Bianca's
Saturday.
gonna win. Bianca's gonna throw Charlotte out.
Oh, all right. Well, I still think we need to find out who attacked her tag team partner, and then I
Jade.
think Jade Cargill, and I think that might impact who wins the women's Royal Rumble. But
Fair enough.
I don't know. I don't know. But there you go, folks.
This
There's
has been your wrestling podcast.
that's right. This has been the Old Gold Show, focused on the WWE Royal Rumble in
The old gold
Indianapolis.
championship belts.
Yeah, the old gold, the big gold belt. That's what we should change the name
We
to.
need an old gold championship belt.
There you go. We got to have somebody work on that.
Let's
Casey,
go.
I'm putting you in charge.
Let's go crowdsource. $300. That's all we need.
Perfect.